Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe my channel. The message arrived, not with a phone call, but with a photograph. It lit up Gayle's screen as she sat in her dressing room, the pre-dawn hum of the studio, a familiar soundtrack. It was a picture of her oldest friend, Sarah, beaming, exhausted, cradling a tiny, scrunched-up face swaddled in a white blanket. A new soul, a beginning. A producer knocked gently. 5 minutes, Gayle. Thank you, she said, her voice softer than usual. She looked back at the photo, at the absolute, unvarnished truth in her friend's tired eyes. It was a world away from the one she was about to step into, a world of curated headlines, polished conversations, and breaking news that was often neither breaking nor truly new. She stood, smoothing her jacket, the uniform for a job she loved, a job that mattered. But in that moment, it felt like a costume layered over a more fundamental reality. The stage lights were a benevolent sun. She took her seat, the familiar banter with her co-hosts flowing on autopilot. They discussed politics, a cultural controversy, a new scientific discovery. It was all important, all part of the grand narrative of the world. But beneath the surface of her questions and her attentive nods, the photograph pulsed like a secret heartbeat. She thought of Sarah's journey, the years of quiet hope, the private struggles, the terrifying vulnerability of wanting something so deeply. It was a story that would never make a headline, yet it was the only story that truly mattered to the two people in that hospital room. It was the universe contracted to the size of a single, sleeping breath. During a commercial break, as a makeup artist dusted powder across her nose, Gayle scrolled through her phone again. She saw a text from Sarah. "He has your nose. Or maybe he will one day. We think so. Can't wait for you to meet him." A lump, unexpected and fierce, rose in her throat. Your nose. The simple, silly, profound claim of family, of legacy, of a love that sought resemblances in a newborn's face. It was the antithesis of the world she was in, where every statement was measured, every opinion balanced, every personal detail filtered through a public lens. The show resumed. The next segment was about economic indicators. She asked her questions, her voice steady and professional, but her mind was split. One part was here, in the bright, noisy agora of public discourse. The other was in a quiet hospital room holding a secret that felt more real than anything she had discussed all morning. This was the constant, quiet tension of her life. She was a conduit for the world's noise, yet the signals that resonated most deeply were the silent ones from her own private world. The joy of a friend, the quiet support during a family crisis, the simple, untelevised act of showing up. These were the stories that built a life, not just a career. When the final credits rolled and the lights dimmed, she didn't linger. She gathered her things, her movements brisk with a new purpose. The weight of the broadcast day, the analysis, the performance, slipped from her shoulders with each step out of the studio. An hour later, she pushed open the door to Sarah's room. The air was still, smelling of antiseptic and baby powder. Sarah slept, exhausted, in the bed. In a clear bassinet beside her, the baby slept too, his chest rising and falling in a tiny, perfect rhythm. She didn't wake them. She simply stood and watched. She looked at the miniature hands, the closed eyelids, the utter peace. This was the only bulletin that mattered. This was the only breaking news that truly shattered the cynicism of the world and rebuilt it with hope. There were no cameras, no scripts, no need for words. She leaned closer, looking for the nose. She smiled. Maybe he did. She sat in the chair beside the bed, the city waking up outside the window. The headlines would refresh in an hour. the news cycle would spin on. But here in this quiet room, time had slowed to the most essential pace. It was the pace of a heartbeat. It was the pace of a beginning. And for now, her only job was to bear witness.